Hey y'all, it's life coach and licensed therapist Robin May, and I want to talk just a little bit more about this whole Simone Biles drama, baby. She has got the world shook up, but I think there's a lesson in it for all of us. But I want to share this with you. So as I am raising these three daughters of mine, I'm often coming up with principles or mantras that I want them to learn, and I have them repeated to me all the time. For example, I often have my daughters say this.
There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that could ever, and I mean ever, make my mommy stop loving me.
Y'all, I tell them to say that all the time because I need them to know that there is nothing that they could do that will make me stop loving them. Here's something else I often tell them. I always tell them, hey, your mom and dad, it is our job to
Provide, prepare, pray, and protect.
But then, y'all, I realized that there was another principle that I had been teaching them, having them repeat after me, having them say all the time. I would walk up to them and I would say, the May girls never, and they would yell out, quit, because I was teaching them that the May girls never quit. Until I realized that inadvertently, I might be teaching them to stay in toxic situations that are no longer serving them. And so I had to switch it up. So now I make sure to teach them this.
The Mays are not afraid of tough stuff.
So again, y'all, for the longest time, I was proudly teaching my daughters that principle. The Mays don't quit. The Mays don't quit. And on the surface, I still want them to get that lesson. Listen, hear me clearly. I do not want them to be girls and eventually women who throw in the towel without a second thought. I do not want them to be the type of women that walk away as soon as something gets hard. That's why we switched it up. The Mays are not afraid of tough stuff. I want them to have some stick-to-itness. I want them to be dependable. The Bible says, let your yes be yes and let your no be no. So I want them to be consistent. I want them to have follow through. But can I tell you what I don't want for them? It's what I don't want for myself, and it's what I don't want for any of you. I don't want any of us to be so concerned about being seen as a quitter that we stay stuck in toxic situations that we know are no longer serving us. Can I give it to you one more time? I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Listen, hear me. There is nothing honorable about staying in places that are toxic simply because I don't want to quit. Y'all, this past week, the Olympic champion, Simone Biles, at the very young age of 24, y'all, that baby is 24, she taught all of us a valuable life lesson. She taught some of us and reminded the rest of us that there does come a time when we have done all we know to do, and that walking away just may be the most courageous choice of all. Y'all, come on, let's keep it real. There are so many of us that are staying in careers that we know are no longer a fit for our lives. So many of us are staying in relationships, platonic, romantic, or even professional, and you know that it is breaking you all the way down. We even stay in our own pattern of dysfunction because it's all we have ever known. And again, I don't want y'all to miss the message. Don't get me wrong. There is a generation of young folk who are driven by how they feel, and they are impulsive, and they are a bit entitled, and we don't want none of that. But y'all, what we do want are more examples of people who are courageous enough to look at it for what it is and call it how it is, so that they can then make the changes necessary to experience the life they know they were meant to live. But here's the question. How do you know the difference? How do you know when you are in a situation where you may need to just stick and stay and see what the end is going to be, or when you need to walk away? I think I can help you with this professionally and personally. I've really been focused on this for many years. And so I believe there are 3 questions you can ask yourself. And these questions will help you determine which place you're in. Do I need to stick and stay, or do I need to go? If this helps you, will you share it with your circle of friends? Y'all could even have some discussion about it, but don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Okay, here's question number 1. Are my core values being compromised? Y'all, I say this often and I'm going to keep saying it. When you don't honor your deepest values, there will always be an undercurrent of dissatisfaction. And so, y'all, when you are in a job or in an extracurricular activity or in a relationship, and you find that you are ignoring, disrespecting, or dishonoring your own values, it is time to immediately pause and reevaluate. You can't expect others to respect you if you're not respecting yourself. Don't sell your soul simply because you don't want to be a quitter. Here's question number 2. Does the investment I am currently making consistently outweigh the reward? There comes a time when you have to stop and assess, is what I am doing still the best use of my time, my energy, and my resources? Y'all, this is not a quick decision. This is not a black and white decision. You have to make sure that you have considered the cost. I remember when my husband and I had a movie theater, we had to really consider the cost and decide if it was time to walk away, and it was. You have to look at the benefit analysis. You have to see if you've even given your investment time to mature. But if you find that you are upside down when it comes to the return on your investment, it's time for you to reassess. All right, y'all, those were the first 2 questions. Here's the last question, and this may be the most important one. Question number 3 is this: has God given you new direction? Now, y'all, this should be simple enough. In order to determine if you should move on from a situation, you need to be in tune to God's voice. Y'all, it's so important to know how he speaks to you so that you won't miss it and so that you won't make something up and just say he's saying something because that's what you want anyway. Y'all, many times God has already left a situation, but because we aren't quiet enough to hear his voice, we are staying when it's time to walk away. I want you to remember this. The Bible tells us that God orders our steps. The scriptures even teach us that God will tell us whether to go to the left or to the right. But you have to hear if he is giving you a new direction. For all of my Bible study and Sunday school folks, remember this. If Abraham had not listened to God's new direction, he would have killed his promise. All right, y'all, that's it. Those are the 3 questions to ask when you're having to make a decision about your next move. When you're trying to figure out, is it time for me to pivot? Is it time for me to shift? Here are the 3 questions again. Are my values being compromised? Does the investment consistently outweigh the reward? And then question number 3, has God given me new direction? So hear me, y'all. I want you to really lean in. Simone Biles didn't quit. She had the courage to prioritize her life over the preferences of the world. And that is the stuff that real champions are made of. I hope I have some of that. And y'all, if we are going to live the life that we know we were meant to live, the life that God created for us, it will require perseverance. It will require commitment. You must develop some of that stick and stay, the stick-to-itness. You got to have some fortitude. And you also must have the courage to know when enough is enough. And y'all, listen, I want to help you with that because some of you know it's time for you to pivot. Some of you have been sensing that it's time for something to change. And by now you have heard me talking about Life Circle with Sister Friends. In Life Circle, I'm going to help you develop and discover your deepest values so that you can know if they are even being compromised. Some of us can't even say if our values are being compromised because we haven't identified them. I'm going to help you discover your PDP. That is your personal dysfunctional pattern, and we all have one. And that is the thing that keeps us stuck in unhealthy situations. And I'm going to help you create a life plan so that you can really win in the life that God has for you. And you're not going to do it by yourself. That's why it's Life Circle with Sister Friends. You're going to go on this journey of personal discovery with a few of your closest friends. Y'all, the accountability is what takes Life Circle to the next level. It is a 6-week course and it starts on August 23rd, and I don't want you to miss it. So go to youcanlivelife.com so that we can get on this journey together. If you're watching this on Instagram, click the link in my bio. If you're watching this on Facebook, it's somewhere around here. All right, I'll see you on August 23rd.